What's up, guys? Hello and welcome to another Maker Monday. For those of you that don't know, this is the day that we all get together and check out some of the projects that you guys do, as well as other interesting things that I locate on my Reddit page. So those of you that have projects that you might be doing, building off of whatever you learn here at the channel, or just general projects in general, I would love to see them. And so you can go to my Reddit page, link down in the description, and post your project. Just throw a quick video, even photo, even just a simple description, and we'll discuss it here on Maker Monday. So every Monday, or at least I try to do it every Monday, I like to throw up you guys' projects because I love to see what you guys do. So definitely check out that Reddit page. We'll be putting it up, put your stuff down there, and then we'll be discussing it on Monday. And to get us started, we got one of our viewers here who has built a touchscreen let's see, heating and security project, which would be like a Home Assistant made from scratch, though. Using a Pi 3B Plus and a 5-inch LCD screen in a frame made from cuts of oak Pi laptop. That was that one laptop that he's been making, which very nicely done. Very nice carpentry skills. I admire carpentry skills because I just suck at it. Let's be honest, I'm just horrible at it. So I admire the carpentry skills. But that's very nice. He's got, basically it's got like kind of like a screensaver mode where it's got the clock and whatnot on it, but it is touchscreen, or at least you can use a stylus and tap through it and whatnot. But very ingenious, very good design. Awesome stuff. I love seeing what you guys make, and like I said, I admire the carpentry skills. My carpentry skills are horrific. If any of you guys have seen me build like the magic mirror or anything like that, it's bad. So I suggest checking this out. There's sound. I won't play the audio here because I want to keep the video moving, but anyway, I suggest going to the Reddit page, check that out, because that's actually a pretty cool project. This next one was one that I thought was actually a pretty good idea. This guy is building a picker-place machine, and he added basically reflow to it. So he built a basically 3D printed out a holder that will hold a solder reflow gun, basically just a hot air rework gun, but basically then it runs over because, you know, since the picker-place machine knows the placement, and reflows it. I thought that was quite ingenious of him. Up next, we got the Raspberry Pi powered retro TV. I just thought this was just cool. I mean, it was like, it's basically a Raspberry Pi, but it's inside of like just this retro TV case with the toggle switches and the old deal. I don't know how many of you remember the days of turning the knob. You know, I'm not, you can tell I'm fairly young, but I do remember back when I was a real little kid, I had one of those old TVs with the turny thing, and you had to get the UHF to BNC converter thing, you know, and you had the rabbit ears and stuff like that. Yeah, I actually remember that. That's what we had. My family didn't have a ton of money when I was a kid, so yeah, we still had the real ancient stuff, even though, yeah, like I said, I'm fairly young. I wasn't born when that was real prevalent, but we didn't have a whole lot of money to upgrade to the new stuff. So it was kind of fun to see this. I thought that was just, it's just an awesome look. I do enjoy it. Up next is my buddy Eric up there. If you haven't checked out his channel, you definitely need to. He runs the MakeMeLab, and he does some really awesome stuff, all kinds of stuff, a lot of things with drones and flight and RC and stuff like that, as well as just the general electronics and stuff. And he came up with this actually pretty cool, handy tool. It's basically a holder that will hold your PCBs and allow you to put probes on your PCBs, and you have all these different little areas that you can put together, and that way you can put, like, you know, a whole ton of probes on your board, and it'll hold all the probes still, so that way you aren't jiggling around. So, you know, the first thing that went into my mind was if you're doing logic, you know, if you're doing logic, maybe you're dealing with FPGAs or something like that, and you need to test and you need to use a logic analyzer or something, this would be a great way to hook up the pins. Maybe you're using a QFN or something, or a TQFP or something, where the pins are exposed, but there's a whole bunch of them, and you need to just probe them. Maybe you forgot to put test pads on your board, or maybe you just, you know, maybe it's some other piece of equipment that you're needing to test, and it's not one that you designed and it doesn't have any test pads. So really awesome video. He does a real good job showing what you can do and what you can't do with it, and different ideas and options. So it's pretty cool. All right, another one that I saw was here is my daughter's trivia candy dispenser box. You know, with so many times we stop and think about, you know, these, you know, having this real form factored, you know, perfect box or enclosure for your electronics. And I thought this was a great idea of, hey, you know, use what you got, right? So they just took like basically an Amazon box essentially and cut some holes in it and put some buttons, and basically you've got like a trivia deal. And so and it will dispense candy if you get it right. So I suggest this video is worth a look if you guys want to come here and check it out. I thought it was pretty cool. Great idea, great way of using just stuff around the house, which I thought was fantastic. And then, of course, next up, we've got the Raspberry Pi bubble machine. You know, I thought that was actually a pretty cool idea of building a you know, bubble maker. And as you can see, it's got a servo that dips the little bubble stick in the solution, and then it has a little fan that is timed and will turn on and blow, or at least, no, I think it's on all the time. It's hard to tell with cameras, you know, and the shutter speed. It's hard to tell. It looks like the fan's on all the time. All it does is just basically redip the little stick every so often. I thought that was kind of cool, you know. Next up, we've got a 7-segment neon bulb, which I thought was kind of cool. I don't know if you've ever seen these, but those little neon tubes you can get yeah, they glow different colors wherever. And this guy made a 7-segment display out of those just with some perf board, and I thought that was kind of cool. I kind of like that retro look. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of like that retro look, you know, like when we did the clock, oh, I can't remember what we call it. Nixie tubes. There we go. Nixie tube clock. When we made that, that was actually a lot of fun, by the way, and that was a really cool project. But I kind of like that retro look. It's kind of cool, that like 50s retro look. And then up next, I saw this and just had to include it because I like video games, and I know you guys do too. And obviously you can tell because I built, you know, arcades and I built all kinds of things using RetroPie. And I thought this was kind of a cool retro thing. How many of you remember the Sega Game Gear? And I actually have one. I wish I could. It's actually back there. I actually have one. Still have it. And I remember the coolest part about those was the TV adapter. I don't know about you guys. Let me know down in the description if you ever had one, because I will be jealous. I wanted one of those so bad. Back in the day, for those of you that don't know, the Game Gear, which was made by Sega, same people that made the Sega Genesis and all that stuff, and it was around the time of the Genesis. It was only maybe a couple of years after, but it was to combat the Nintendo Game Boy. And they had this one adapter that would slide into the game cartridge spot, and it had an antenna, and you could watch TV. Now, that was back in the day when television wasn't digital, you know, like it is nowadays. It was all analog. So you just put up an antenna, and you could get your normal local station. So you could watch, you know, football games on it. You could watch just local programming and stuff. And so that was like the coolest thing in the world, that it would turn it into a TV, like handheld TV. Ooh. So anyway, going back to this, they're now releasing the Game Gear Micro, which, you know, we've seen all these retro consoles come back out. You know, like Nintendo released the Nintendo Classic and the Super Nintendo Classic series. And it looks like Sega is going to be doing that with these. So I just thought it was interesting to include. Of course, you can make your own with a Raspberry Pi, and we may do that. It also got me thinking, asking you guys a question. Would you like me to make one of those handheld games, see what it would look like on the channel or whatever out of a Raspberry Pi? If you think that'd be interesting, let me know down in the description. It might be kind of a fun project to make a little handheld one out of. But anyway, got me thinking, so wanted to show it. And we're back to the end of that. So back to the one that I was looking at, augmented reality. I do want to showcase this one again just for a split second, just because it leads into the next stage of our talk here for Maker Monday, is going to be where the channel is going, or at least upcoming videos for the channel. This is basically an augmented reality of like a wind gust meter. Now, I don't know if they're just doing wind gust data, you know, from like the web or something like that, but it got me thinking, what if, and I've got it right here because I've been testing on it, what if we could take something like a Fire Beetle, you know, one of these guys, or an Arduino that has wireless or just anything, or has Bluetooth more or less, and what if we could, you know, attach that to augmented reality and then use like a phone or something, put into an augmented reality headset here, and you could be able to look around in real time and see different augmented reality pieces, components that would hinge off of data brought to you from an Arduino. So basically, it could be anything: temperature, it could be, you know, like maybe some sort of a wind meter, it could be, you know, just as simple as controlling stuff. And I found it. It's all done through Unity. And those of you that don't know what Unity is a gaming platform. In fact, here, or game development platform. Let's just look up Unity real quick for you guys. There we go, Unity. And I don't know if any of you played indie games, but if you play indie games, you'll see a lot of Unity, because Unity is a very powerful platform. It's actually really pretty cool. And it's game development. But the cool thing about it is you can develop, because it can attach to JDKs and stuff like that to develop for Android, iOS, Windows, Linux, Mac, pretty much anything you can develop for. But it has the ability to incorporate augmented reality. Well, further than that, it also has an Arduino add-on, because there's a whole set of add-ons that come with this thing. And you can actually, through Bluetooth, grab a hold of Arduino data and pull it in, or basically any data coming through, you know, like the Arduino Bluetooth. So that got me thinking. So what I think we're going to do, I'm trying to wrap this up because I don't want this to get too long. We're already at 12 minutes. What I would like to do is I would like to pull that in and be able to show you guys all that stuff with Unity. So if you guys would like it, let me know down in the description. Would that be something that you would like to see? Would you like to see how to build things in Unity in this system? Would you also like to see the augmented reality? And if you have any ideas of what we could do with that kind of features and things like that. You know, I did that one augmented reality video, and it was kind of a quick whammy bammy. I didn't really understand it, but here lately I've been really getting into it. So I would love to share that knowledge with you guys if you guys would find it interesting. So make sure you let me know down in those comments. Real fast, we're going to get into the tool of the day. It is going to be all about shrink wrap. That's right, shrink wrap. One of those little things. I don't know if you'd really call it a tool, but it's just one of those little things that is just awesome to have. And it's nice to have all different varying sizes of shrink wrap. And those of you who don't know what shrink wrap is, what you do is you can, after you make, let's say, a solder connection or something, you want to cover it up, but trying to tape it. And then if it gets hot, the tape, you know, the sticky gets funny and the tape will fall off of it. And it's just kind of a pain. Shrink wrap, you slide it over the connection, or really you slide it over anything. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be an electrical connection. It can be pretty much anything. But you slide it over it and then you heat it up. Either I used to, you know, heat it up with a lighter. Just take a lighter and, you know, but if you have a hot air gun or a hot air rework or something like that, you just hit it with some heat, hot air, whatever, just hit it with some heat and it will shrink up around it. And when it shrinks up, it basically will kind of seal up the connection. Now, it's not waterproof, but it does, you know, at least provide some protection, and it provides some electrical insulation. So it's kind of a way of like reapplying insulation. So even if, let's say, you had like a nick in a wire or something, slide a little piece of shrink wrap over it and heat it up. So I will include a link down in the description to where you can get a giant pack of all different sizes of shrink wraps, because that's where I ordered mine. It's kind of nice. Now, I'll get specific sizes sometimes. Like, it doesn't have to be those huge ones. I don't know if you're seeing, but I mean, I've got little tiny bits. I got all different kinds. It's just good to have around. All right, guys, so thank you so much for watching. I don't want this to get real long. It's been quite a while right now, so thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments. The best thing you can do for more videos and for more information is let me know in those comments. What do you like? What do you not like? How about the format of Maker Monday? You know, what do you like? What would you like to see? What are things that you like? What you don't like? Let me know down in those comments, because that way I can tailor this for you guys. So, in any case, thank you so much for watching. Make sure and check out the t-shirts. Put a link somewhere. Check out the t-shirts. Check out the Tindy store for the different micro relays, the USB inspector, all those different little pieces, the ESP8266 helper, all those different little devices. All of that helps support the channel. Also, check the affiliate links down in the description, because that helps the channel as well. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And when you subscribe, make sure you ring that bell, so that way you don't miss out on any of the content. You definitely get alerted for it. And thank you, guys. We will talk to you next time.